the Fabric of Culture podcast, episode 13, where I interview different creatives and get insights on how they got started and how you can apply these things into your life as well. All right, introduce yourself.
My name is Laura Mireya, aka Laumi POV.
All right. So we'll start with this. What inspired you to get into modeling?
Ever since I was little, I want to say maybe like 10 years old, I was in the stockyards and there was a man like drawing people.
Mm-hmm.
And then he asked, I wanted to be drawn. So he asked me what I wanted to be when I grow up. And I said a model. So ever since then, like he drew me like on a runway and literally it looks like me. And ever since then, I've been wanting to be a model.
Oh, that's cool. That's an interesting way to start. So it was another type of artist that was like, okay, this is my thing now. This is what I want to do.
Yes. Well, ever since I was little, and then as I grew up, my parents really didn't have like the resources and like the ability to take me to like castings or like where to look for castings or where to even apply for agencies. So as I grew up, I did, how do we say it? I got sidetracked, and you know how our parents would tell us, or like older people would tell us, like, do focus on what you want to do now rather than to go and party or like go out drinking. So I did get sidetracked doing all that stuff. But once I got older and like started seeing more about like castings or like, you know, you can become a model, like you don't have to be skinny and tall. So yeah, ever since I would say after I had my son, that's when I got back into it and decided to go hard on it.
So was there anyone you saw where like, oh, I can do this? Or is it just like a realization over time that you didn't have to be like a certain height or a certain weight to get into this?
Yeah, it was a realization over time.
Okay.
I can do it, you know, and it's possible. And I started seeing like different models with different body types, and yeah, that inspired me.
I think like the last 5 years or so where you've seen more variance in like height and weight, whereas okay, there's like there's still like the top of the top where they're making the most money, but there's more availability to where if you have the skills and you have like the work ethic, you can do something here.
Yes, especially I want to say after Khloe Kardashian brought out her jean brand, that's where you started to see more like different types of brands, you know? And brands started reaching out to like different types of models, not just a certain skinny tall model.
Because I mean, even with clothes itself, it makes sense where there's going to be like an average of body type, but it's not going to be one height. It's not going to be one thing. So you're going to make more money if you see someone like you of each type. That way, okay, I can wear this too. Yeah. So it makes you want to buy it too. So if you're just catering to one group, then you're not going to make as much money and you're not going to be as well known because that's not me. Why would I buy this?
Yeah. Yes, most definitely.
What else like drew you in for modeling?
The fact that I was very photogenic. Also, I love taking pictures. The fact that I was I think I'm very, you know.
No, you are. What was it like? When did you notice? Like, was it really obvious early on, but you just didn't have the time for it? Okay.
Yes, like I would say in high school, that's when like it started.
Oh yeah.
And then so I didn't really during that age I didn't know where to look for the resources, how to do it. I didn't drive, so my mom, she doesn't speak English, so it was very hard to get out at an early.
So I think, what was it? Around that same time when I was younger, I remember I went to my first audition. I wasn't ready for the rejection because I sent and they were, oh yeah, like come through, like we really want you to work for us. And then I went to the second audition. Like, oh, never mind. So I really like my photos. Like I was photogenic when I was younger too, but I just hadn't really like practiced. I didn't know what to do. Yeah. And so having like those natural photos and then coming in, I just couldn't do it. I was so nervous.
Yeah. Yeah. That's something that you really have to prepare for. Like like mentally and physically. It's really time consuming to learn how to do things, how to pose, how to move from one pose to the other and not make it look like too jumpy, you know what I mean?
Make it more smooth.
Yeah.
How do you prepare? We'll go a photo shoot and then for like a runway or something like that.
For a photo shoot, preparing as in like, what do I do like a day before?
Yeah, day before and day of.
I try to have everything together, like my bag for everything, as in makeup or hair oil for my body, you know. And then on the day of, I just try to wake up really early and I do my own makeup for everything. I don't like people doing my makeup, so I really have to wake up real early for that if I want it to look out really good.
I'm curious about that. For the makeup, is it just that on average they don't know what to do yet for your like complexion, or is it just they don't know what to do in general for you personally, not that
for
they don't?
Me, it's the fact that I just like my makeup to look a certain. Like if I go and get my done, they'll do what they know.
Yeah.
And for me, like now, like I used to do my eyebrows a different way, where it made my eye look like droopy. And if I get somebody to do my makeup, they'll follow like my eyebrow. And now I do the laminated brow, help my
so it makes it look more full, basically.
Yes, and makes it look more like an eye lift. Gives it an eye lift.
Okay.
So it's that, and then how I like my makeup to be very full cover matte. I don't know if it's them because I don't want to waste product. I don't know, but sometimes it doesn't.
Is it almost too light, or is it too like you can see that it's on there basically?
Yeah, either it's too light or it's like patchy or like super oily. I have oily skin, so it's just the type of products.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So I guess I have to find a makeup artist that does the style, which is.
And I also feel like you'd have to find someone who's like, you tell them what you want, and then that they'll be at most. It'd be like the favorite. Someone who's almost at or who's commonly picked to be at shows. Otherwise, you'd have to explain every single time what you like.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't work out well unless you bring someone, which no one is going to do that. So.
Yes. Like for fashion shows, I do my own makeup. They do offer sometimes to do makeup, but they bring people that are like new into it. It's not that I don't want practice. Not on me.
Yeah. I know what I like, and this whatever you're gonna do, that's not for me.
Yeah.
So share one or two favorite experiences from when you first started in the fashion industry, like when you first started modeling.
Favorite, I guess my favorite would have to be like the time I participated in a show. I was really nervous, but when I did my first walk, like all the nervous left. You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You've taken modeling and put out there what you know.
Okay.
I don't. Other than that, like
what would be? I'll go the reverse of that. What would be a negative? What would be like a bad experience you had when you first started, where you learned a lesson? Okay, I'm not doing this again.
Just like in shows or like in general, like photo shoots, or
it can be either or both. Yeah.
I've had a bad experience with a photographer. So he seemed to be like really cool, like very outgoing, very nice. And then he was like, oh, I have to be your photographer. And at first I did like him, but then after on social media, like if I would upload a picture or like something on my story, like he'll heart it or like send messages like that are not being professional.
So almost one like for photographer to stalker, or like one step below that, where it's just like weird.
Yes, weird. One time, and where I'm getting at is that he sent me a reel talking about, if I make this goal, you'll send me a picture in a thong or something like that. And I just found that very unprofessional and like, never working with you ever again.
Yeah, that's like 20 leaps past the line.
Yes, and that I just don't like unprofessional. But other than that, that's the only bad experience where a photographer weird.
On the professional line, was there anything you learned early on, like, I shouldn't do this, or I need to work on this to be more professional?
Yes, like arriving early. I'm for the sake of me, like I don't know why, but like I cannot arrive like 15 minutes early. Like I'm always like a little bit late or like right
on time.
Yeah. So that's something that I really have to work on. But it hasn't been a problem because, you know, most photographers are TF. So it doesn't really bother them.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother. Sometimes it's them who's late, or, you know, have to work on for when I do have some.
Yeah. I think it works for me sometimes, but I trick myself into getting early.
Yeah.
Like I know what time I could leave to get right on time. And then I guess I start leaving earlier, acting like that, and then I end up leaving in the right on time.
Okay.
It's like I'll start getting ready earlier than the time, and then I'll accidentally get there on time.
Well, see, I try to do that, but I guess it's my makeup. It's what takes super long. You know, even if I start like 3 hours before, like something always has to go wrong. Always. Like one time I was doing my makeup and I used the wrong concealer with foundation, and I already had my foundation on. So I went to add my concealer, and then I started blending it, and it just took off my foundation and it looked super patchy. So I had to take that off, run to the store to get a different type of concealer that will go with the foundation I was using. And that just, you know,
ate away all the time.
Yeah, the extra hour that I had to be on time ruined it.
We'll go to, what's your favorite photo shoot you've done?
My favorite, I don't know.
I think I'll say my favorite while you're thinking about that.
Okay.
My favorite I was just starting out. I've probably been modeling for like a year. And it was a floral photo shoot with like 7 different types of flowers. And one of the models, like one of the female models dipped out. She canceled. And so this photographer just hit me up. Hey, like I really wanted to work with you and I need someone like now. Do you have like a yellow shirt? I was like, no, I don't have anything in that color. And so I just like grabbed this shirt from either like H&M or Target, and then came the next day. And it was really fun because it was outside my wheelhouse, because like they put makeup on me. I was like, oh, like I've never done this before. And then it was me and 7 other girls, and they all had different flowers, and we all matched that color. So like they'd have like a pink dress on, then like a pink lily or something like that. And we did poses separately, like as one, and then we did one as a whole unit. And I'll show you after, but it was really fun how it turned out.
Okay.
And it really pushed me too, because they were like, the poses were, this makes me feel uncomfortable in like a good way, where it's like challenging, especially because I was just
getting out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, and I had just started out too, so I was fresh on the block and doing these poses. Oh, what am I doing? But I'll work it out. I'll figure it out. Yeah. But it was fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Mine was just recently this year, with IBK. And the reason why it's my favorite, it's because the energy of him like doing these photos was like very uplifting. Like I loved it. He was so professional, very uplifting. I liked the music that he was playing. It was an American. I think it's music that he does. And yeah, I've never worked before.
I'm curious, what else made it uplifting? Was it just like his whole energy like combined with the music?
Yeah, his whole energy combined with the music. And as he was taking the pictures, he was like, oh my gosh, yes. Like, this is, yes, do that again.
Have you worked with him before, or was that the first time?
That was the first time.
Ooh, okay. Yeah,
and that's because Lauren, do you know Lauren Kennedy?
I don't think so.
Well, she did a mock campaign, I think, with him. And I really loved it. Like, it looks so cool. He made it.
That reminds me of one of my 2 favorite people. Like, my 2 favorite photographers that I work with it's Noel and Simone. Noel, he's everyone calls him Bolsky, and he does like, he'll keep on working on the shots, and when he gets like that perfect shot, he'll just start doing like different dances. And so he'll dance every time, and he'll start dancing a lot, so you feel like, oh, okay, like I'm getting a lot of amazing shots, and he'll show them to you too, so they are amazing. But it's just his energy. He's very energetic, but also he makes you relax to where you feel like you can